Hello and welcome back to Metallic Reviews, the show where I give honest ratings to honest music. Forgive me, I missed last week, got busy with some other stuff. So today, we get to do a double review. Two for the price of one, always a good thing. You know, to kick things off, we have a review that I've been excited about. Very, very excited about for quite some time. Now, I will admit that I enjoy a good bit of power metal, and I also understand that it's not every metal fan's cup of tea. Yeah, clean singing, keyboard playing, whoa, that scary stuff. Seriously though, power metal is one of the most polarizing subgenres within metal itself, and it probably always will be. But that does nothing to negate the existence of these kinds of bands and the impact a lot of them have had on metal in general. Today, we're here to examine one of these power metal mainstays, Battle Beast, and their new album, Circus of Doom, which came out January 21st on Nuclear Blast. Now, Battle Beast are one of those bands that just seem to pop up out of nowhere. You kind of forget they exist for a little while, and then all of a sudden, they're everywhere. You can't really get away from them. Festival appearances, album drops, you name it. The band seems to operate on cycles of surprise. Or at least that's the vibe I get from them. It's fitting, then, that this album is full of awesome surprises. I mean, I've heard power metal before, but this is power metal with an emphasis on the power. No song on here was crafted without a terrific sense of musicianship and an ear for that catchy, soaring chorus that defines the genre. It's all wrapped up in a fun box of guitar solos and terrific chord progression that will worm its way into your brain without a second thought. Now, the title track kicks off the album and sets the tone for the rest of the effort, and believe me, there was a lot put into this. Wings of Light, Where Angels Fear to Fly, Russian Roulette, and Freedom are all prime examples. The choruses make you want to sing, and the riff work mixes with the keys to create an atmosphere so grandiose and majestic you'll feel like you're in the middle of an expansive field, and once in said field, you begin shouting these words, feeling absolutely epic as you hear the echoes from, no doubt, a mountain range somewhere nearby. You know, there's one word that could describe this album, and that's epic. It's very wide in its tone, yet it knows when to limit itself. Eye of the Storm and The Road to Avalon show what the band can do when they submit to these limits. They help balance out the flight of the rest of the album perfectly, all while remaining true to the overall tone. Truth be told, I can't really find fault with this album. It's definitely an early album of the year contender for me. Some folks in the metal realm might classify it as being cheesy, but I definitely don't think so. Lyrics, music, and one of the best vocal performances I've heard on a power metal album place it in the high echelon of what I've heard so far this year. Now, granted, we're only, 3 and 4 albums into what I hope is a 52-album cycle, but it's just that good. We've got a power metal masterpiece on our hands here, folks. I give Circus of Doom by Battle Beast the year's first 5 out of 5. Next up in this double review, we have parodical thrash metal. Yeah, quite a turn, isn't it? It's Lawnmower, Deth and their new album Blunt Cutters, released January 28th on Dissonance Productions. Now, technically, these guys have been around since 1987. They did split up for a little bit of time. Okay, a lot of time. From 1994 to 2008, in fact. But this is their first album since 1994's Billy, and obviously their first since reuniting well over a decade ago. How'd they do? Let's find out. This is an album where the music just sounds like it was crafted by a bunch of guys who were having an absolute blast putting it together. For their first album in nearly 30 years, they sound terrific. There are a ton of moments on here that lean more towards hardcore punk than straight thrash, and personally, I loved it. I enjoyed how the harmonics of the vocals carried themselves over the backing guitar work. It's something that hardcore punk is really known for. The first 3 tracks, Into the Pit, I Don't Want To, and Botheration, set the tone for the rest of the record, and they do so brilliantly. Into the Pit might be my favorite short song on the record. My favorite long song is the hilariously titled Raise Your Snails. Yes, we apparently have a metal song about raising mollusks. Go figure. Despite the silliness, the music on here is top-notch. It's thrashy and hardcore and full of a lot of grit. Underneath the concerted immaturity and general ridiculousness, you have a bunch of guys who know how to write good, solid material. I have to give it to guitarists Steve Nesfield and Gavin O'Malley, who really go whole hog on here. There isn't a solo to be found, but the chord progression all makes sense in a weird, so off it's on kind of way. True, it's not Master of Puppets, Rain and Blood, or anything by Agnostic Front. However, these guys certainly know their stuff and pay a lot of mind to it all over the album. My only small issue is in regards to the pacing. I don't mind having sub-minute long songs on albums like this. They have their place, especially among the more extreme forms of core music. However, the issue is when they don't fit with the pacing of the rest of the album, especially towards the middle. There are a few songs that lie between the 2.5 to 4 minute mark, and they're followed by choppy short songs that feels kind of like they're trying to fit a musical square peg in a round hole. It just doesn't work. That said, it's a very minor complaint. The album as a whole is terrific. If it were paced just a tad bit better, I'd call it perfect. It gets a definite 4.5 out of 5. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to click like, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more metal content. Next time, we're going to be heading back into death metal territory and examining Venom Prison's new project called Edibles. I hope you'll join me. You've been watching Metallic Reviews, where I give honest ratings to honest music. I'll see y'all next time.